Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about something called meter. Meter refers to how the beats of a song are organized into smaller groups. So, most of the songs that you listen to are in a meter of 4. Meter is marked by something called a time signature, which has two numbers. They look like a fraction without the line in the middle. So the top number of that time signature tells you how many beats are in each measure. A measure is the small chunk of music that you'll see on the page separated by those lines. The lines that separate the notes are called bar lines, and in between every set of bar lines is a measure, and every single measure has the exact same number of beats, and that number of beats is determined by the time signature. You will always find the time signature at the very start of a song or piece of music that you're working on. So, let's learn about the meter or time signature 4/4, 3/4, and 6/8. So, 4/4 time signature is where you have 4 beats in a measure. It's like if you had 4 quarter notes, or the equivalent of a quarter note. So when I say the equivalent of a quarter note, what I mean is a quarter note is 1 beat, so you have to have all the notes that you use add up to exactly 4 beats if you're in 4/4 time. Let me give you an example. If this is my beat, 4/4 is going to divide them into groups of 4, such as this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that grouping of 4 kept coming up over and over again, and the 1 was accented, it was a little bit louder. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when I said that you can have the equivalent of 4 beats, what that means is if I don't want to just have quarter notes, I can put in eighth notes. But remember, for every quarter note, I need to have 2 eighth notes. So instead of grape, 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 if I want, I can have apple, 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 apple. So it would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on and so on. Now, when you listen to songs on the radio or songs that you like, you'll notice that the drummers are playing all sorts of different things in there. But those groupings, if you were to count along with them, you'll find that those groupings will still line up in steady groups of 4 or 3, or in some cases 6, some cases 5. You can have all sorts of different meters, but these are the most common ones. Let me give you an example of a 3/4. For 3/4, I'm going to have groups of 3, such as this. Here's my beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Like that. Common songs in the meter of 3/4 include Happy Birthday and the Star-Spangled Banner. Watch this. Happy 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so on. So 3/4 time is a pretty common meter. The 4/4 is the most common. And let's take a look at 6/8. Now, I told you the top number tells you how many beats are in the measure, but we need to talk about the bottom number. The bottom number tells you what kind of note gets 1 beat. So imagine that this was a fraction. 4/4 is 4/4, or 4 quarters, 4 quarter notes. 3/4, 3/4, 3 quarters, 3 quarter notes in the measure. Now 6/8 has an 8 at the bottom instead of a 4. So 6/8 is the same as 6/8 notes. Now, we know that an eighth note only gets half of a beat. So, let's draw some eighth notes and take a look. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eighth notes. I'm going to just beam them all together for now. Now, the thing about 6/8 time, instead of just being the same as 3/4 time, like 1 and 2 and 3 and, 6/8 time is special because you group the eighth notes in groups of 3 instead of in groups of 2. So 6/8 time is going to sound like this. Like this. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and triplet 1 and 2 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. So if I had 6/8 notes but I was in 3/4 time, it would sound like 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and. But if I have 6/8 notes in 6/8 time, it's going to sound like 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So 6/8 time is a little bit less common these days in songs that you hear on the radio compared to 4/4. But an example of a song in 6/8 would be Perfect by Ed Sheeran. I don't know the words, so I'm going to mess them up, but it sounds like this. Da 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 da. Something like that. So that's an example of 6/8. So let's review. Meter refers to how many beats are in each measure. Time signature refers to the symbols that look like fractions. These are all time signatures. And the numbers in the fraction, the number in the time signature tells you, for one, the top tells you how many beats are in a measure. And the bottom number tells you what kind of a note gets one beat. Alright, this is one more complicated bit of information, but I think you can handle this. Going back to 6/8. Whenever you have an 8 on the bottom and the top is a multiple of 3, if you divide that top number by 3, it tells you how many real beats are in the measure. Okay, so if we're in 6/8, you don't really feel the eighth note as the beat. What you feel is 2 beats that have 3 eighth notes each. So remember, we had the triplet kind of sound to it. Triplet, triplet. There's 2 of them. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 2 1 2 1 2. So whenever you have an 8 on the bottom, if the top is a multiple of 3, divide that number by 3, and that tells you how many beats you'll actually feel when you're listening to the song. That's a little bit more complicated, but I thought I'd throw it in there for you. Alright, that's Meter. Hope you have a great day. See you next time. Bye.